Hey, Howard here at 82 Maple, and today you're going to get a little bit of an update on this 1959 John Deere 440 track loader machine. If you didn't see the original video of its purchase and the trip home, you know what, I'll throw a link in down below or pop something up on the end screen. In any event, here's the logic. So we've got some work to do around here that's best done with a track loader. And you know what? We could get a contractor in, but why would I pay somebody to do something that I enjoy doing more than anything? That would be like hiring somebody to eat my dinner for me. Alternatively, I could chisel away at those tasks with some of the equipment we have around here. I've got a couple of wheeled tractors and a little mini excavator, but given the slopes I'm going to be working on, that wouldn't be at all efficient, and it would take me forever with the little mini excavator. So, all told, with some things that I'm going to cover in an extended version here in a walk around, I've got about $6,000 invested in this with the original purchase price and some repair and reconditioning and refurbishing, the stuff that goes along with an old piece of equipment. And so that's the logic. And you know what? You might be buying my logic, but I don't think Coral would be buying the logic because she knows that I didn't even need logic for this. I just love running old equipment, and love being the key word. So this isn't really an episode about equipment. This is more of a love story, and I hope you enjoy it. So, you know what's really neat about this old equipment? As we look at it here, there's no computers. There's virtually no electrical. I've got a battery box on it here, and I can basically shut everything off once the equipment starts. It really doesn't matter if any of the gauges or anything works. Well, yeah, it kind of does. But it's just dirt, noise, grease, grinding gears, all of that fun stuff until it doesn't do any of that. And then I get to do something that I enjoy almost more than running the equipment. I get to drag it in here and get out some wrenches, some sockets, some hammers, chisels, maybe even a torch, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And that is just an awesome experience. Instead of that last part, I could have gone out and got a newer and much more reliable machine than this. But two things. Number one, that would take away all the joy of the sockets, the wrenches, the torches, the hammers, the chisels. Why would I do that? And number two, when it did break down, you know what? Just like my newer model John Deere equipment, I'd have to throw it on a flat deck and take it into town because something will have gone wrong with the computer brain. And yes, Coral is just signaling me from behind the camera that yes, we saved some money, but she's not upset about that because less money on equipment means more money for horses, she's saying. Horses, horses, horses. There we go. I'm not even going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Coral can tell the story of horses. So again, this is a love story. It's not about equipment. Thanks for coming along for the ride and being part of our little journey here that Coral and I have up at 82 Maple and Kettner Creek Farm. Okay, so a little bit about the logic for this purchase. So right now, with the original purchase price and some repairs and bits and pieces that I had to restore or replace on it, I'm into this for about $6,000. None of that money is going towards the cylinders. The only reason that these blocks are in here to hold the lift in this position is not because there's a problem with the cylinders. I had tested those at the point of purchase, and this boom drops, I forget what it is. It's somewhere between 3 and 6 inches in 3 to 6 minutes. So I was satisfied with that. But I was going to be doing some work on the engine, including changing the oil, swapping out the starter, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And so I didn't want to be fiddling around with needing to do something else and then finding that I couldn't lift up the bucket. So those worked just great. So let's go around to this side, and we'll start by talking about the starter. So the starter is hiding right down in here. And to get to it on the original machine, one had to take out the old oil bath air filter with its riser here. And so while I was doing all of this, I pulled the starter, got it rebuilt, took the generator, had it rebuilt, and swapped out the old style air cleaner for a new style, which is identical to the one that I have on the 440 dozer that's up at the other end of the shop. And that seemed to work just great. All the fluids I changed, right from the engine all the way back through the reverser, through the transmission. And what I was really curious about on this, so I'm just going to go around to the back of the machine here, and we're going to go down under. So down here, I can drop the lower part of this housing. It's intended to be removed from the final drives. And I was most interested as to whether what the shape of those final drives were like. So I dropped both of those. There was no metal filings in them of any kind. They were clean as can be. So I just took some solvent, worked them over a little more, reinstalled them, and put all new oil in there. One of the, just jumping back to the purchase, one of the things that I really liked about the machine, and I had the then owner send me some pictures, was the shape of these teeth on this sprocket. And that often indicates whether the undercarriage is in good shape. And you look at, I can lay a little finger right across there. So often you find a machine like this, and these teeth are literally at a point. I mean, that undercarriage is probably at the end of its life, if those sprocket teeth are any indication. And so I was confident that the machine had good bones, and I haven't been disappointed. I've been crawling around underneath. I've removed the belly pan. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And just overall pretty solid. What else did we do here? Okay, so the upholstery was virtually non-existent, so I had that all redone in weatherproof fabric. The shop that does that does a lot of marine applications. The battery box was non-existent completely, as was the battery. In fact, to get it started, to bring it home, we had to pull start it and then keep it running, loaded onto the flat deck, and then I literally just rolled it off the flat deck as a dead machine when we got to this end. The rock guards, yeah, they were in tough shape. And so got some inexpensive aluminum checker plate, got that on there. And you know, here's the interesting thing in working on a machine like this. It's like, what's the big deal, right? We've got 2 bolts, 2 on the other side that match it. Let's just pop those out and we'll put the new rock guard on. Well, not quite so simple as it sounds. Because if one's lucky, only 2 of the 4 bolts will strip off, which means you have to, once they twist off, of course, you have to drill them, then get a tap and tap new threads in there, probably go up a size in terms of the bolt. And so instead of it being a 2-minute job, it can easily be a 2-hour job. But hey, that's what it's all about. What else was I going to talk about? Just little things. With the battery as well. Long ago and far away, the shut-off switch, or the battery cutoff switch, had been removed. So I made a little bracket with some leftover scraps of aluminum checker plate and put that in. This was the shift lever. I don't know what somebody had done to the top of it, but you can get parts for these things all over the place. So I got a new shift lever, got a new knob. I like something to look nice and tidy. Even though it's old, it doesn't have to look completely raggy. The hood. Somebody had needed quick and easy access to the generator, so they took a cutting torch and carved out a hole. I took just a piece of checker plate and threw it over that. Again, more on the neat and tidy theme. Put a new muffler on it. You know, it was all pretty minor stuff, actually. And probably the biggest challenge for me was the transmission. The reverser oil change. To do that, there wasn't a hole in the bottom like there was to drain the engine oil. So I had to drop the rear belly pan. And that's a pretty heavy chunk of steel. That thing weighs in at a good 200 pounds, maybe a little more. Probably a two-person job, and I should have, when I brought this machine in here, next time I bring it in, I'll have a couple of 2x10s down and I'll roll it up, because even for me, that was a tight fit crawling in underneath. I basically had to crawl in from the front of the machine on my back and go back to where I dropped the belly pan and then get that oil changed. But you know what? Hey, it worked and it's done and it's in good shape and the reverser is in good shape. So let's see if we can get this fired up. It's hovering right around freezing outside. And so what I did is couple of things. I threw one of these magnetic heaters down here onto the oil pan. And so I threw that on last night. Reason being, I've got 40 weight oil in here, and maybe you can help me out here. This is the oil that I'm running. It's the Dello 100, which is, and I'm just going to refer to my notes here. It's the original, it's what John Deere recommends for this engine. It's especially formulated for older engines. It's designed for the special needs of the 50s and 60s engines, in particular the low ash requirements of two-stroke Detroit diesels, which this is. GM diesel, right there. The definition of low ash is an oil with a sulfated ash content of 1% or less. If you have any suggestions for a lighter weight oil to use in the winter, I'd really appreciate it. I do understand that some folks are running a Dello 400, which is a 1030 synthetic oil blend. But I'm not sure it meets the low ash requirements, and I don't know what the implications are. But this 40 weight oil literally stops pouring around, I think it's minus 11 Fahrenheit, which is give or take minus 24 Celsius. One last item just before we fire this up. I'm brand new to the types of repairs and even maintenance that's required for a piece of equipment like this. But I have to say, I was almost a little disappointed. There was nothing major enough on either this machine here or the sister machine, another 1959 440, but with a dozer blade that's sitting in the background. There was nothing serious enough on these machines that requires me to strip them down from end to end. And the biggest thing I ran into on this machine, and it'll be the subject of another video, is there's a couple of things that caused me to split the track on it. Not once, but because of my inexperience, twice. But even that's not that big a deal. Need a little heat, and it needed a little persuasion in the form of a bigger hammer, but all of that just racks up to too much fun. And I would never have made it, though, this far in the repairs and parts replacements without the help of some of the forums and message boards on Facebook and otherwise. And a big shout out to R.S. Dyer Tractor Parts out of Ontario, and Ted and his brother Chuck and sister Kelly for their help through all of this. They're a wonderful resource in terms of sourcing some of the parts that I need. Again, an upcoming episode on what we're doing on this piece of equipment over here. And so now the moment of truth, and let's see what happens here.
Well, we got it going. We had to give it an extra boost. for his first work since he's been on the farm.
that lumber, rain or shine, through spring and summer. We build a bridge should roll, but they sometimes blow. The tractor flips and down we go. The dozer fails, but still we grin, 'cause when plan A dies, plan B kicks in. It's all about the family and keeping love alive. They drop by just to wonder how the heck we still survive. We're broke from buying tools and food's a moving feast, but we eat on the run with the critters and beasts.
The outhouse, yeah, it's boutique fine, and we didn't pass on yet.
We just don't have the time.
Cole brings me supper in the shop, then grabs a nail gun, pow, she makes it pop. We're dreaming dreams and busting steel, and somehow still find time to feel.
We got critters and mouth to feed, fixing fences, planting seed. Every day's another gong show, but it's the only life we know. It's all about the family and keeping love alive. They drop by just to wonder how the heck we still survive. We're broke from buying tools and food's a moving feast, but we eat on the run like the critters and beasts.
The outhouse, yeah, it's boutique fine,
And we didn't pass on yet. We just don't have the time. So we ski those slopes and catch a game. It's the only way we stay halfway sane. When the world gets loud, we simply bail to a highway trip or mountain trail. Yeah, it's all for the family, their laughter's our reward. We live this life with geese and goats and our trusty Ford. From skinned up knuckles and power tools, we live it loud and fast, but we wouldn't trade a single mess that's past. The kids drive hard, the outhouse shines, we ain't gone yet. We just don't have the time.